What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking a look at a realistic battle featuring Cracker from G Squad. He's in the Panther II, a very popular Tier 4 German tank with a battle rating of 6.7. The Panther II differs from the previous Panthers in that it gets better armor in the glacis plate or the lower front plate, the hull, as well as the side. The Panther II also got an upgrade in terms of its power plant. This Panther has very good acceleration, has good top speed, and arguably the most impressive feature of the Panther II, at least as far as the power plant, is the ability to reverse at a very high rate of speed. Being able to peek out from a building or some sort of hard obstacle and shoot at your opponent and then retreat quickly into safety is very important in a lot of tanks. And with most of the Panthers, the A, the D, the F, and all the others that are in the game, those have very slow reverse speeds, and you'll often get yourself killed because of the inability of the Panthers to reverse. Also getting an upgrade, the Panther gets a better gun. Gone is the pretty good 75mm, and in comes the 88mm KWK-43, which is on the King Tiger. It's one of the most powerful guns at its tier, hands down. It's remarkable. Now, in this battle, Cracker has positioned himself quite nicely. He wants to get to the cat, but he knows if he peeks out there too quickly, he'll end up getting shot. He's up against the British, and almost the entire team is in STRV 81s. This is the new Centurion Mark III, both ATGMs. He gets the first shot into a STRV right in the engine block. He wants to finish him off. Second shot goes right into the main part of the cabin, killing most of the crew. Still got a nice little fire going in, but he sees the ammo rack in the front, so he goes for that. And with his third shot, he finishes him off. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out in this video, as Cracker gets shot up by a annoying little AAA, is the appearance or lack thereof of some of the ammo racks and some of the vehicles that Cracker will end up shooting. If you're using the STRV-81, the Centurion Mark III, the Centurion Mark X, or the Carnarvon, if you take 33 rounds of ammunition or fewer, you won't have that front ammo rack being filled. If you take 33 rounds or fewer, you'll end up making your opponent work a little bit harder. You won't give him that easy kill, because if you're facing some of these tanks, all you have to do is just aim for that front lower plate, and you'll kill the tank 99% of the time, at least in my experience, because you end up ammo racking the vehicle. He sees the Carnarvon just on the other side of this little piece of concrete. And he pulls up after he fires, pens him right through the lower front plate. He doesn't ammo wreck him. Instead, he kills the driver and most of the crew. See, you notice there was no ammo rack on that particular tank because he took 33 rounds or fewer. He was smart. That first vehicle that Cracker encountered wasn't so bright. No ammo rack there, but again, take out the crew. Plus, there are some other ammo racks in the lower part of the vehicle that you can't necessarily empty with ease. That is, I believe if you take out 17 rounds or fewer, you'll be able to eliminate one of those ammo racks. But I believe one of the other ammo racks, as long as you take one round or more, I think there's going to be ammo in the ammo rack. So it's not possible to completely get rid of the option of being ammo racked, unfortunately, as you have to have ammo somewhere. That's one more has bitten the dust, and it's just STRV 81 spam everywhere. On the beach, in the city, they're everywhere. And these again are the premium tanks. These are the Centurion Mark III with the ATGM rocket system. This is a $40 tank. It comes with 1,000 gold and it's 7 days of premium account. And by the time this battle is over, Cracker is going to end up with killing several $100s worth of tanks. I've never seen this many premium tanks in one battle. This is just outrageous. And again, right through that lower... actually, that was the whole shot. Went right through that hole, killed the driver and the ammo rack. Beautiful shot. AAA vehicle comes in, just misses him. Instead gets the fuel tank by the looks of it. The AAA vehicle tries to take cover from Cracker behind another tank, but The AAA vehicle is not going to be able to do anything against the Panther. It just does not have the armor penetration. All he can do is track him and mark him on the map. By shooting Cracker, the AAA vehicle will mark Cracker on the map for his teammates, and the second shot goes right through, taking out the crew and eliminating the tank. Still have a few guys in the city. We also have a couple on the beach here. There's a tank down the way, and just beneath Cracker there's an STRV 81. There's also a Crusader AAA vehicle in the city. A very high profile makes him a pretty easy target to eliminate. Everything around him has been killed except for the guys on the beach and a few guys a little further in the city. A couple stragglers. STRV has popped up. You can't get the lower plate. You can shoot the mantlet, but it's a bit of a risky shot because there's no guarantee that it'll actually go through. The Centurion mantlet armor is a bit of a trolley armor. Sometimes it'll go through, sometimes it won't. Another Crusader AAA comes strolling in. He gets down low into the trench. Cracker waits for him to pop up in the other end and one-shots him. And then everything goes to hell for Cracker. Well, at least it begins to. Someone has shot him from the rear. Who was it? Ah, it's the STRV who was on the beach just a second ago. He's managed to come around and flank Cracker. He didn't notice it. None of his teammates noticed it. So he shoots him with the machine gun to mark him on the map for the first teammates to take notice. Meanwhile, Cracker's waiting for his crew members to reposition themselves inside the tank. Cracker's teammate engages, and then he finishes him off with a nice little cupola shot. And it's just a great example of how easy it is to kill these tanks, the STRVs, the Centurion Mark IIIs. It's kind of painful to play Great Britain sometimes. It really is, because the tanks are not that well armored. The Carnarvon is really nice because it has a strengthened lower front plate, but for the most part, these tanks tend to be on the weaker side. Whether or not the STRV 81 is worth $40, it's kind of up to you. I think the most interesting thing about the STRV 81 is not the rocket system, but rather the fact that you get such a ridiculous zoom option. You have such a good zoom on that tank, far better than most vehicles. Another British vehicle bites the dust. And here we go. Cracker's eliminated 12 targets right now, and he's realizing that if he wants to win this, he's gonna have to actually get into the gap and start that ticket bleed. So as he pulls out onto the beach, he looks right, but you notice he never looks left, and this is a big mistake in my opinion. By only looking one direction, you're essentially giving your opponents the opportunity of ambushing you. But fortunately for Cracker, the STRV who managed to sneak past isn't interested in Cracker. He's focused on the guys who are coming in from their spawn, from the German spawn. So he's engaging them. Meanwhile, Cracker's going to finish this guy off with another shot to the back of the turret. Actually, I believe it's the turret ring. Yep, just under the back side of the turret. And this is where everything goes to hell, finally, for Cracker. Another STRV is up on the top of the ridge, firing rockets down into him. And this is where Cracker meets his end. A damn rocket shot. But he managed to cap the alpha point, and look at this. What kind of a kill cam is that, War Thunder? What kind of a kill cam is that? Oh well, still he managed to take out 13 vehicles, capture 1 point, and what the heck is this? I know, War Thunder, I don't know. What do you even say about that, you know? Anyway, after getting eliminated by the STRV, Cracker gets into his Dornier 217 M1 bomber. Not a bad bomber. It's quite useful as it carries 4 bombs. I believe they're 250 kilograms in size. And he's going to take somewhat of a wide path to the right side of the map with an attempt to line up a couple of shots or a couple of bomb drops on whatever he can find. However, at this stage in the match, we're almost 11 and a half minutes in. Cracker's eliminated more than half the team by himself, I think. And there aren't that many tanks down there on the ground. So there aren't very many opportunities for him to use these bombs. He's making his wide approach so he can position himself for a nice little bomb drop. However, on Cracker's 6 lies a Tempest Mark V, a phenomenal British Tier 4 fighter who has no interest in letting Cracker drop bombs on his teammates, and he lets him know by a barrage of 20mm cannons which take out his tail. Cracker's machine gunners, rear machine gunners are going nuts, but tail control's gone, engine gone, Cracker's done. There's just not a whole lot that you can do. Rip Dornier 217. But there's another Dornier 217 up. This is a Night Fighter version, and he ends up blazing the Tempest. Nice little revenge. I like that. Well done, sir. Well done. So with the Panther lost and the Dornier 217 being a rip, Cracker gets into a Sturry Mill, a very good little tank destroyer with a massive 128mm gun. However, unbeknownst to Cracker, there's a Centurion Mark III laying in the wait. He's spawn camping. Because if you can't tank, you spawn camp. Or you AAA. One or the other, it seems. I don't know what it is about some tankers, but spawn camping is a problem. It's arguably two things. One, poor map design, and two, one team allowing it to happen. And both technically are true. War Thunder maps are not particularly well designed, and when you have a capture point out at Alpha, which is out on the beach, you have this entire side of the map open for tanks to do whatever they want. In this case, it's the British tankers who are able to come around and use this flank because there's no one really stopping them. The Germans didn't set up a flank of their own on this side. They've instead focused their efforts on Alpha, on the primary objective. If you don't set up a flank of your own to stop your team from being spawn camped like this, you're going to get in a situation where you're going to be spawn camped, simply put. But thankfully, Cracker's killed a lot of the enemy team, so he had plenty of points to get into another vehicle, and he chose the King Tiger, the Tiger 2H. That first shot into the Centurion revealed his location, first of all, but also revealed that he has an ammo rack in the front of his vehicle. So again, he's taken more than 33 rounds of ammunition. So Cracker knows all he has to do is maneuver around this dead tank and position himself just in the right position to get a perfect shot into either the side of the vehicle or through the front lower plate, or the glacis. All he has to do is get a shot, sneak one past the tracks and into the ammo rack, and that's exactly what happened, or at least that's what it appeared to be at first. The kill cam didn't show the ammo rack necessarily being detonated, but rather possibly getting through and either hitting another ammo rack or just killing the crew. The kill cam footage is not particularly accurate, and it's not the most reliable information. But either way, you can clearly see he snuck one past the damaged right track, or rather the left track, and killed the tank. So the ticket bleed is pretty severe. The British team is just about out of tickets, but they're not quite giving up. There's a Charioteer, a British tank destroyer, sitting here, and just like most British tanks, it's pretty easy to kill, unfortunately. I'm not really sure what he was doing there. He was kind of in an awkward position because he can't really defend the entire German military from pushing into Alpha while his teammates are capping. And his teammates aren't actually capping. What he potentially should have done is actually try to cap himself. After all, the Charioteer may not be a very well armored vehicle, but what it lacks in armor, it makes up for in speed. And it could have been a potentially better use of being out there on the cap and helping his team win the game. Instead, it's basically up to a Carnarvon to race to the cap, and that's just not going to happen because they just don't have the time. And this is how the match would end. Cracker would end up with 15 ground kills, 1 capture point, 3 deaths. He performed excellently, especially with that Panther II. He set up a very nice little ambush spot next to the concrete. He protected the cap at that spot. He took care of a dozen tanks initially, just one-shotting them one after another, before ultimately capping A himself and carrying his team to victory. And that's going to be it for today, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.